I've recently been spending a great deal of time talking about the 10 steps to autocracy and authoritarianism. I talk about them because this is not a prognostication of what's to come, it's a description of where we are. In 7.5 months, this nation has descended into authoritarianism. And by understanding that, by recognizing that, we have the opportunity to then decide where we want to go next. Unlike other nation states that were democracies that fell, Venezuela, Hungary, Turkey, Russia, if we remember, was a democracy. The entry into autocracy and authoritarianism doesn't happen all at once. But when it starts, it does not stop unless the people stop it. And we know it when we see it, but we don't always have the language to use. We know that we start to see after the election, the executive expand his power, and it's almost always a man. We see the weakening of competing powers. We see the legislative branch bend the knee or become complicit and sometimes instigate behaviors. And we see the judiciary at the highest levels refuse to take the responsibility it has. We then see government gutted. We see them break how it works because people will not fight for something that will not fight for it. And so you see the CDC dismantled. You see the closure of national parks because they've stripped them of staff. You see people, elderly folks who are sitting on phones for hours trying to get access to their social security checks, only to be met with a chat bot that doesn't understand them. You break government so it doesn't work for anyone, so we forget why we have it. Step 5, you see loyalists installed in positions of power so they can go after their enemies. They are not loyal to the people. They're not loyal to the Constitution. They're loyal to the autocrat and the authoritarian regime. Step 6, you see the dismantling of media. You watch in horror as we gut public broadcasting, as formerly formidable broadcasting companies pay extortion fees in order to stay alive. But then you also see the rise of a media ecosystem that tells lies as though it's truth. And we don't have the ability to discern the difference. Step 7 is the step that I'm the most afraid of and that brings us here today. And that is that you scapegoat people, that you have to blame someone for the brokenness. And that is why we have watched this administration so aggressively go after DEI. Because if you can blame someone else, you don't have to take responsibility. And what worries me the most is that it's not just coming from the government, it's coming from the very people who benefit from DEI, from the corporations and other organizations that know that DEI works. As the commissioner pointed out, DEI is the lifeblood of this country. It is a value system that has made us great, and we are quickly avoiding it and voiding out its promise. Step 8 is that we then go after, and we watch as they go after our civil society, as they break those who would protect us. They sue the law firms, they go after the universities, and they arrest protesters. Step 9 is the rise of private violence that is often attended by the rise of a private police, a secret police. That is what ICE agents who mask their faces are. That's what National Guardsmen occupying our cities looks like. And then step 10 is the end of democracy as we know it, because while we may have elections, we no longer truly have the right to vote. That's why we're watching midterm redistricting that is designed to architect who wins the next election. It's why we see voters being purged and other voters being told, don't bother showing up. It's why mail-in voting is under threat. But the reason I call out those 10 steps to autocracy and authoritarianism is because we've got 10 steps to power and freedom. And our opportunity in this moment is to recognize that while we are in the midst of an authoritarian regime, it has not taken firm hold. We are still fighting back. We're still speaking up, but we need more of us. So we have to recognize what's at stake. We have to activate ourselves around it. And then we have to reclaim our right as patriots to a country that sees us and serves us. And that's the work that we have before us.